Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this very special edition of the Divine Feminine Oracle Show. Tonight, the Aries full moon coming up on October 9th. With me, of course, are the amazing Julie and Sophie. You can find them both at MaisonJupiter.com. Julie, Sophie, welcome back to the show. How are you guys?
Not bad. You guys?
Are you still feeling the effects of the retrograde? Are we getting into this new square tension also? What's going on? There's crazy energies all around for everyone. Let's start with you, Sophie. What's going on with you?
There's a lot of energy. I'm sure we're going to talk about it. For everyone, we're feeling it right now. I hope I'm not the only one at the very least, because it's crazy. I just moved. So this is a big step for me. This is asking me to have a lot of energy, big change. I moved to higher ground, of course. So I have a lot of change, and this is fall season. So it's just asking us to a lot more of energy. Change is asking us a lot more of energy, I think, and patience right now. How about you?
You're having your eclipse influence already, Sophie.
Yes, I think so.
Well, yes, we're in the orb, right? That's true. The first one here is October 25th, but the energies of the orb is actually felt a month before and maybe as much as 6 months after. Wow, yeah. And how about you, Julie? What's going on with you?
I cannot disclose all the details yet, but one day for sure I will, when this is all over.
Neither confirm nor deny that.
But let's just say that I'm feeling the Saturn square, the Saturn-Uranus square. Today is the most exact that this square will be, October 4th. So I'm feeling this influence big time. It's like a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, lots of rules to abide by, lots of stuff, and that I maybe didn't expect that I would be dealing with. And that's Uranus. And Saturn brings a lot of responsibilities and stuff that you have to deal with all of a sudden, which is Uranus. So,
and of course, your tyrannical leader just won his election last night in your province. Oh, wait, is this a censor? No, I can't say that here. Everything's fine, folks. I didn't say anything. I'm just kidding. It's just a big joke.
Yeah, the elections were totally well done. And
the most secure elections in history for sure. Nothing happened. How many votes did the other guy have? 100, like 500,000, but yet he didn't win one seat in the House. Like,
no seat.
Possible? Yeah.
No.
It's miraculous.
Yeah, that's a mystery we'll uncover later on, I guess.
Okay, guys, bear with us here. The three of us are absolutely giggling because otherwise we'd be crying. Honestly, it's been a weird one of those weeks already. Yes, and we're just 2 days into it. So a big thank you to all of you joining us here live tonight on this interactive show. I'm missing my woo-woo banner there for some reason. It's all going to hell in a handbasket, I tell you. So guys, thank you, yes, for joining us. Where can we start? I think, okay, so you guys know the three of us are having a weird day, and we're happy to share our time with you guys to try to just get back into the community and feel a little bit more at ease with all of you guys tonight. So a big thank you for you guys joining us here tonight. But Sophie, in this last week, also leading up to tonight, of course, you're doing 4, 5, 6 readings a day sometimes. What seems to be the consensus now versus last week? What can you share with the audience members here in terms of these energies hitting your clients?
So we're still with the angry energy. We're still stuck with this. So I don't know in the astrology what is because of that. So I don't know what is the influence of the angry energy, but it's still very much with us. And some people are asking me, is it also influencing the children and the pets? The answer is yes. Many people are feeling it on their pets. Many people are feeling it on their children. It's not just adult. It's not just because of the stress of everyday life. It's really big energy. So there's things that comes up just around us. It's not necessarily just because of what is going on in your 3D life. It's really big energy. That's the first thing. So it's still there. Also, now we're stepping into exhaustion from the emotional side, but a big exhaustions.
Yep.
We'll get into that a little bit later here and maybe tips and tools on how to deal with that. And it's funny, there's at least 12 comments already. Yes, we're also having a weird effing day today. So like, yeah, we're okay. So Julie,
we're not crazy.
We're not crazy. Sophie, Julie, myself, we're not crazy. It's absolutely wild. Julie, for tonight, of course, we want to talk about this full moon for this weekend, but we want to put it in context, historically speaking, with the type of alignment we're having this month, with, of course, the eclipse being in the month of October, and also being at the same time as this Saturn-Uranus square. Now, we've heard other content creators talk about this particular alignment and how it's actually pretty rare. And usually when it happens, or the last time it happened, at least like this one is happening now, was in 1929. So you're looking at those weird crash, big change, big upheavals, banking system issues, all that stuff here in our field here, if it does indeed play out like in 1929. So we wanted to take this opportunity, folks. Let me see if I can bring up the slides here. We're going to do the same full moon, but we're going to talk about first the personal energy, how it's going to affect you from a personal standpoint. And then we're also going to have the conversation of how it's going to affect you collectively, like banking system structures and all of those things as well. So, Julie, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the full moon in Aries itself, or do you want to talk about, just generically speaking here, the energies for October? I know we've just recorded the Astro Woo Finance. We've went into that, but maybe there's a few things here we can share with this audience here tonight as well.
Yeah. Well, very quickly before we go and talk about the full moon in more details, I just wanted to set the scene for what's going on right now, because everybody, I'm sure, is like, what's going on? There's a lot of energy. It's very intense. So first of all, we're in the orb of influence of the eclipse, which is usually about a month before. So it started in September, late September, because the eclipse will be October 25th. So that alone triggers a lot of change in our personal lives, also in the collective. It's in the financial axis. So, well, not just the finances will be affected, because it's also the energy exchange axis. So we're having to review as an individual, but also as a whole, what do we give and take? What is that balance looking like moving forward? So where do you invest your energy? Where do you invest your money? Where do you invest your relationship time, intimacy? So these are all topics that we're having to review. Okay. So that's first. And then Saturn-Uranus square is hitting us, especially, well, since 2020, we've been in this last square between Saturn and Uranus influence. So it's an ongoing aspect, and it affects us on a personal level, but also on a collective level, triggering all sorts of financial crashes and disruptions. So we're going to talk about that later on, but also on a personal level, it's kind of asking you to make some changes in what have been your foundations in life, how you dealt with responsibilities, which is Saturn, changing a lot of stuff about how you invest your time, energy, and resources, which is Uranus in Taurus. So that's second. And then on top of all that, today we also have a T-square, and for, well, let's say the week, a T-square, which is like the hardest kind of alignment in astrology. And the apex of that T-square is the planet Mars, which will be in the sign of Gemini for 7 months. So Mars in Gemini, when it's badly aspected, talks a lot about restlessness, overthinking, being very anxious about things. So there's a lot of mental energy with that T-square, because on one side, it involves Mercury that just went direct in the sign of Virgo. So this is a very intellectual placement. So there's a lot of overthinking with that planet, but also Mars in Gemini, which is also about mental activity. And on the other side, we've got Neptune in Pisces. So it's like foggy, not being really able to see clearly through all the information that's being given to us. So it's weird. Let's just sum it up like that. It's weird. And it's like, it makes it hard for us to really see clearly through a situation. And Mars in Gemini, which is the apex of that T-square, can be, as I said, anxiety, overthinking. I'm sure a lot of people have trouble sleeping because of that. It's like someone sent me the analogy for the tarot card, and it's like the Nine of Swords when Mars and Gemini is badly aspected. So overthinking, waking up in the middle of the night and be like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to give an overview of all the aspects that are going on. And of course, it's never just one thing in astrology. It's usually a mix of all those things. So, but to be positive, there's a great potential for healing, and we're gonna talk about that during the next
thank God there's a silver lining in all this, Julie. I was like, oh my God, when is she gonna stop? It's funny when you said yeah, it's a little weird. Like, yeah, it reminded me of this Austin Power. Yeah, I got weird. Yes. So Austin Powers fans, there you go, a little something for you. Sophie, you were nodding your head also here with big changes, that theme right now for a lot of. Do you want to share either personally or also what you're seeing with the audience members here, how maybe to deal with that change? What are you doing right now, and how is it being a challenge for you also? A lot of people will relate to that.
Oh, right now I'm the Nine of Swords human. So right now I am the embodiment of that energy. And we are all humans. So it's normal that we all go through those phases. It's normal. So yes, today I woke up exactly like Julie said, in the middle of the night, panic attack. I just went outside and just look at the stars. There's nothing that we can do. We need to understand where it's coming from. We need to just scan our body and just take control over what is in there, what is going on, and just focus on, okay, so right now it's not going well. Right now it's not going well, of course. But what can I do right now? So I just look at the stars. And simple things like this, it's just retaking our control until this passes, because it will pass. When is it passing, Julie? When is this tea going away?
Please give us good news, Julie.
Well, I think that after the eclipses are over with, so let's say
November 8th.
End of November. So November, I'm sure, will be a very intense month because it's also the second eclipse. Wow. But I think December, we're going to maybe integrate all the changes. It's going to be a little quieter, I'm hoping. Yeah. So
well, somebody was just saying, hey, did you guys see Cliff High's latest video? I'll bring that up for you guys. I watched it also today here, and yeah, the title is Dread. So again, there's a lot of that energy in the air, but it's not necessarily ours, and that's what he was alluding to. The dread here was for the bad guys, seeing as all their plans are going to shit. Pardon my French.
Yeah.
So yes, please do go and see that video, bitchute.com/Cliff_High. Very interesting. And Julie, when you said December, it kind of makes sense in a way. Yes, we need both of these eclipses to pass, but there's a lot of events that are going to be attached for that might perdurer in French, that may take a little bit longer to resolve. If you're looking at Cliff High's Web data, he suggested that perhaps February or March of next year we'd be kind of collectively going, okay. Yeah. We have a line of sight now where we're going. We understand a little bit more. We could start putting some planks down again and walking on solid ground. Whereas right now, everything is in the woo, everything is up in the air, and it's just going to get worse here for the next.
Yeah, I agree, because the Saturn-Uranus square is still going to be somehow an orb until beginning of 2023. So it makes it all total sense. But I'm sure that as of December, we'll start feeling a bit of relief, because I feel like the biggest changes will have happened already, at least on the collective level. And then we can move on with adapting to those changes and integrating with that, which I think is going to be an important part of this transformation.
Not to be Debbie Downer. I hear what you just said. And again, here I'm taking from different sources, whether that's Cliff High, Penny Kelly, even Janine to some extent here. What we don't know, and in this last Astro Rule, she kept picking up the cards here that there's a lot still we don't know. And so even though we can extrapolate the energies and how it's going to affect us with these eclipses, the tricky part here is the unintended consequences. So even though these eclipses might have a very direct tower moment of effect on certain aspects of our lives, what we still don't know are the unintended consequences of those two. And those might last a little bit longer here into the springtime. But this is where, again, the silver lining is, if you've done that introspection work, you've done that healing work, you're closer in alignment with your soul mission, this is going to be made not easier, but maybe easier than if you haven't done anything, and now you're struck with all of these tower card moments at the same time, and
for sure.
Huge changes.
And resistance to change is a big one too, along with your level of awareness. So if you're willing to evolve, change, and you're not putting that much resistance against it, I feel like all the changes are going to be a lot easier for you.
Right. Guys, if you want to have a handle a little bit more on how these changes are going to affect you per your zodiac sign, please do go check out the Astro Woo Finance we just recorded here a couple of days ago, available now on pay-per-view. And we get into all of this stuff in detail for each of your sun sign and rising signs as well. Fabulous episode, specifically now with all the changes ahead of us. It's always good to have a little bit of an extra lead time on things here on how to deal. You mentioned something also, I believe, Sophie, about the anxiety. What was interesting here too, that's coming up, and I'm really, really proud about this. Julie and I have been working, as you know, on the Beyond Mystic Academy. We just launched Tarot Numerology Level 2. So let me bring that up on the top of the page here.
Tarot level 2.
Tarot level 2, not numerology. Sorry, I had that wrong. Yes, so this was the long-awaited part 2 to the first one that Janine had put out here 2 months ago. So this is available now, and I do have a coupon code for you guys tonight. The expiry date on this one is October 7th. So if you guys took the first course and you want to get it even deeper here into the minor arcanas this time, 10% discount code is Beyond Mystic for you guys. But what's also interesting, and again, I'm telling you, we're working hard here, is this video here that's coming up with Aline, the reboot challenge here, and how that deals specifically for humans to understand why and when they are pushed out of their normal operational window by anxiety and by stress, and how to get back into that wellness sweet spot. Talk about that a little bit, Julie, here, how we're excited about this show and how absolutely on target and on point Aline is going to be here with this topic, because all of us at one way or another here are suffering from the last 2 years, and we need to understand how our bodies work and how to maybe repair from some of those damages that have occurred already in the last 2 years. Julie.
Yeah, it's crazy because we had scheduled a meeting with her along to structure her course, and yeah, so that was planned for today, but it's been planned for a long time. And when she was going over like all the modules and all the wisdom that she was going to share about having a level of awareness about your level of anxiety, and also how you're able to adapt to change and where you are right now to be able to give tools to connect even deeper with yourself. And giving tools, because she's a psychologist, and she's a very red-pilled woman. So she's very aware of what the side effects of all the 3 past years have been. And I was like mind blown. I was like, wow, this is so relevant. And I was preparing for this full moon that we're going to talk about. And I couldn't believe like how intertwined it all was. Right. And I was telling her, there's a lot of echo. I don't know if it's me or...
Let me mute myself here. Keep going.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I was telling her that we're all, as a collective and also as individual, dealing from the stress and the overwhelm that we've been feeling for the past 3 years, because everybody had to change and adapt to those changes, and also be in conflictual situations, sometimes family, sometimes friends. So your nervous system is under a lot of stress. And when you're having that stress for more than 1.5 years, usually you start having more serious health issues because of that nervous system that's being very overwhelmed. So we're dealing with that, but also we're dealing with the upcoming changes that are coming. So I was like, wow, we all need this so much right now. This is crazy. So I can't wait to do her course. I'm gonna unmute you, JC.
Okay, sorry about that. So yes, I'm excited for that also. A big thank you for Aline and her work on this. And what I thought was interesting was how she went through that process, like many of you losing her job because of her beliefs and her and the stress that caused on her also. So she went through the part of rebooting, dealing with that anxiety, the damage of that, and starting her new life. So she's going to be so relatable to a lot of us here when she comes on the show and is ready here for this course. So again, please join us for that. And maybe as soon as a couple of weeks here, we're almost ready for that. So that'll be very exciting. Lakeside Laura, thank you so much. She says, yes, we all need to heal. And somebody else said, hey, I just registered for Janine's part 2. So yes, give that a try again. BeyondMystic.academy is the website. And oh yeah, I'm on YouTube. I can bring the live link down in the live chat for you guys to make it easy. There you go. Isn't that fun?
And personally, like, I feel like when I'm under a lot of stress and, well, I don't know if it's anxiety, because I'm trying to project what's going to happen in the future. So that's anxiety. So whenever I feel stressed because I don't know what's about to come, I feel insecure about the future, tarot is an amazing tool because it gives you a more larger perspective on the challenges that you're faced with, what's going to come. So you're able to make better decisions and see things from a higher perspective. So I love using tarot for that.
Very exciting. Okay, while I'm doing some news items here, folks, you're going to be excited to know, and I kind of hinted at this last week in my show, but I'm starting to move to Rumble. And one of the big reasons I want to try that, of course, is because of everything that's happening here. And we can't actually get into what's happening here, but you guys understand. But next week, or actually this week, this Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we're starting this thing.
Yeah.
So yes, a lot of you are going to be absolutely excited. Smash the like buttons, yes, and join me on my Rumble for that. That's going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern. So this is going to be a reprisal, maybe with a few tweaks of what we used to be able to do on YouTube. But here, of course, live and hopefully uncensored. So please join us for that. Share that with all your social media friends and family. And yes, Laura says, let's get ready to rumble. It's going to be one hell of a rumble on the first show. We're very excited, Janine and I, to be doing a show again live with you guys here on a new platform that we're going to be testing out. And this, of course, is also a result of that last Nostradamus decode that both Julie and Janine were working on a little while back, which said that really we needed to work and to be very careful at this specific time in our history to make sure that we fight for the right to free speech. So I won't get into too much more there. You guys understand what we're talking about. And so I'm very excited. Yes, everybody says awesome. Can't wait. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me bring up the Rumble channel in the live chat. So this is where you guys are going to see that poster appear here on Thursday, 4 p.m. So please do go and subscribe. And yeah, everybody says, I'm ready to rumble. I love it. Okay, so that's the news for tonight. Let's get into, Julie, the personal aspect side of this Aries full moon for October 19th. And let's share that with the audience here.
Okay, so that full moon will be on this Sunday if you're on the northern hemisphere, I believe. Anyways, it's on Sunday.
I believe it's at 4:45 Eastern time on Sunday. Let me look. We'll keep going.
4:54 New York time. So it just, I think some people, let's say Australia, might be experiencing the next day. But anyways, this is September 9th for most, October 9th, sorry. Woo, I'm lost in time. For most people. So you can look up 16 degrees of Aries where it falls in your own birth chart, and you'll have an indication of what house will be triggered. So just remember that a full moon is the moon opposing the sun. So it's an axis of signs that will be triggered. So Aries and Libra. So there's always like two forces that are trying to pull on their side during a full moon. It's a completion of some sort, of some cycle. 16 degrees of Aries. So look it up in your birth chart and you'll know what type of subject might come to an end for you. But since it's not an eclipse, it's mostly something that will be more subtle in your life than something that is really that obvious in your life. So, okay, personal influence. So, well, first of all, the moon is going to conjunct the planet Chiron. So Chiron is known as the wounded healer. It brings a lot of healing, but also it can bring sickness. It can bring illnesses. So it's all about health and illnesses, but also about being able to heal some stuff. And with the moon, with this full moon, so the moon is going to be very charged, emotionally speaking, and connects with Chiron. So we'll be in a very important time to face our fears, personally speaking. And in the sign of Aries, what type of fears are we dealing with when we're talking about Aries? Well, it's all about survival issues, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So it's all about this instinctual need for survival. So survival mode is triggered. It's all about the root chakra. I know we've been talking a lot about this root chakra, but then again, it's highlighted during this full moon. Did you want to talk about Rumble, Jesse?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was I'm trying to respond to the people in the chat who can't find the Rumble channel. I didn't realize I was changing the main deck. Of course, it's just one of those weird days.
I don't know my notes by heart. Sorry.
I'm sorry about that. So yes, Eternal Sunshine was trying to help me here with the Rumble link. So there you go, guys. It's in the live.
It's this kind of week.
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
just crazy. Okay. Yes, Julie, let me get back to the personal influence here of the Aries full moon.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so first of all, we'll be able to acknowledge where this fear of survival is located in our charts, but also I'm sure by now you'll have a little idea of what's going to come up during this full moon, since we're a couple of days away. So, and then once you acknowledge what that fear looks like and what this coping mechanism looks like, there's a lot of healing potential, because Chiron again is the healer. Mm-hmm. So, and because it's a full moon, you want to release those wounds. And also Pluto will be direct as of October 8th, so just the day before this full moon. Plus Chiron is highlighted, so there's a lot of healing potential and transformation potential. So well, we all know the first key of healing something is always acknowledging it before being able to transforming it. So it's the first step. Also, the 16, I'm just gonna mute you, sorry. Is it my sound that's too high? Maybe. Okay, I'll try again. So 16 degrees.
It's just one of those days, Julie. And Layla says, JC, come on, keep it together, man.
Okay, but you know what? Like I love it because it's really reflective of my day and my week. It's perfect. Okay, 16 degrees, it's a Cancer degree in astrology. So Cancer is all about needing security. Usually Cancer is about emotional security. And with those changes that are coming and are about to come, we're in this need of even more security. So emotional, but also material security, which is the root chakra. The root chakra wants financial security, wants material security, and Cancer wants emotional security. So one thing maybe you can do around this full moon is reassure yourself that everything is fine, everything is divinely guided in your life, you're protected, you know, that kind of stuff. So, or if you have a blanket that you like, take a bath, something that's going to bring you some reassurance and security. And then, well, as I said, a full moon is always the sun opposing the moon. So the sun is along with Venus in the sign of Libra, while the moon is with Chiron in Aries. So it talks about the relationship axis. So there might be some feelings of division that may arise around this full moon. And because or Aries, which is the sign of the individual, that would be very highlighted. Some people might feel like they need to act in a more selfish way because they feel like they are on their own and their own survival instincts are being triggered. So yeah, I wrote triggered by their survival coping mechanisms. So there's going to be a lot of mental tension as well with the T-square that we just spoke about. And because of that relationship axis position, we'll feel that some people will tend to not want to cooperate because of that Aries that's being very highlighted. And also, of course, our favorite alignment of the year, Saturn-Uranus square, is almost exact. So there's a high level of tension, of course. And the full moon is always an emotional time. So just beware of acting impulsively, which is related to Aries. But as I said, if we can just connect with ourselves, which I think is the most high level frequency of Aries, is to really be embodied in our energy, grounded and embodied. I feel like this could have a potential of healing energies also. Oh, JC, you're muted.
Yes, very cool. Let's bring in some tarot also on this. Sophie, if we can pull, so we just did a general reading here on how this is going to affect people on the personal level, but let's tie this in more with the Beyond Mystic audience. They are unique in a way, they are part of a community in a way, and they are also doing a lot of work on themselves. So it's not necessarily the general energies won't hit them directly the same. So let's pull specifically here on how this Aries full moon can be navigated better here by the Beyond Mystic audience.
Sure, absolutely. You just said security blanket, and my cat just stepped in the room, so I think you just called her.
Oh, she needs a lot of emotional security, that cat.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nine of Swords, guys.
Didn't you just say that at the beginning of the show? You're the walking embodiment of the Nine of Swords. There you go.
So we have a mix with the oracle card that says no, don't. So the two of them is saying don't make decision based on fear. Don't make decision based on your worst nightmare because you fear that it will come up, because you fear that it will get bigger. It's just momentary. It's just right now. You need to stay in the present moment. Also, we do have a lot of anxiety. I'm losing my voice. We have anxiety that is really going in the body. So be really mindful of letting it go away also, because this can create, like you said, Julie, blockages and also health problem later. So the trick that I gave a lot this week is really simple. As you step in the shower, just put the intention that you're draining with the water, your problem, your stress, and you're just being cleansed by this. The drain is going to just take all the negative side that you have in your body right now. So do it every time that you really need it, because right now it's a big, big energy and we are all feeling it.
Okay, very good. Julie, you also mentioned, what was it? Pluto directing Chiron, the wounded healer. Let's talk about that specifically, and I'll go back to asking you, Sophie, also. For a lot of people right now in this community too, they've been on that path already of dealing with the wounded healer within, looking at those core wounds, trying to release them. How can they help maybe the people in their families, their friends, their loved ones, and society also maybe go through those steps of going through that crucible of pain, which is the core wound? For a lot of people, that's very scary right now, on top of the fact that there's all of these changes happening at the same time. What would you say to those people who've already either on that track or have been through that track already, how they can help their friends and families through that process also?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Well, first of all, Pluto is turning direct on October 8th, so right before this full moon. So when we have outside planets that are far like that, they influence the collective a lot. So we are going through a transformational process as a society, as a collective. Pluto is a planet of death and rebirth, but also transformation and healing. So I feel like the best way to help that collective transition as we're moving into another frequency altogether is to do your individual healing work. And I feel like it relates a lot to your Chiron placement in your birth chart. So if you know about your Chiron placement, then you know a little bit of what in this lifetime you're having to heal as a core wound. So for me, for example, I have my Chiron in my 10th house in the sign of Gemini. So I had a lot of past lives where I was silenced. I couldn't share my knowledge. I couldn't have a voice. I was strangled also as a witch in past lifetimes. So in this lifetime, I came here and I was super shy when I was young. I had a lot of issues about speaking out in public. I was very, very shy. And I knew it was kind of part of my mission, but at the same time, I had a lot of difficulty with transcending this trauma. So I feel like if you know a little bit about your Chiron, then you have a good idea of what you have to overcome. And once you're on that path, you're also helping your ancestors and also your the future generation. So it's like a collective work that we're all doing together also.
Really good. Hey, and if you want to know where Chiron is in your chart, best way to do that is get your personalized birth chart done here by Julie. Julie, explain this product here on MaisonJupiter.com.
Yeah, so on MaisonJupiter.com, it's your personalized birth chart. So exactly where the planets were placed at the moment of your birth. So you're going to have the same birth chart for all your life. And it's a very useful tool in order to get to know yourself better, but also understand how those astrological alignment have an effect on your birth chart. So let's say the eclipses, you're going to see where they fall in what house in your birth chart. In your birth chart, how are they going to influence you in your personal life? So that's a tool that you'll be stuck with for the rest of your life. So I produce a digital birth chart in the color of your choice with your name on it. And also it comes with a 15 to 20 pages report with explaining what your alignment means.
Okay, very good. So, folks, that's MaisonJupiter.com. And there, of course, you can also book a reading with Sophie. Let me bring that up. Also, Sophie, when you came back from vacation, you were going to be adding here for the audience members some emergency priority booking sessions. How does that look right now if people want to book with you? Do you have any spots available?
So for priority booking, we have, I think, one left this Friday, and I will open some next week also. Otherwise, for 1 full hour, it's still in November.
Okay. Okay, very good. Sorry, I thought I put myself on mute there. Julie does an amazing job. I love my birth chart. Well, I love mine too.
Thank you.
And every time I look at it, I learn more things. Of course, I printed mine and put it in the binder. But yeah, I really love it. And Christine, I totally agree with you. Very good product. And of course, coupon code BeyondMystic, 10% on either the bookings here or also the birth chart for you guys. Speaking of that, I just saw Carla in the chat, and Carla, the amazing Carla from Ascension Organites, has also gifted us a beautiful pyramid tonight here for one of our PayPal tip jar donators supporting this live show here on YouTube. So a big thank you to you, Carla. Let's see what this new pyramid, this is a part of the new collection also, is all about.
Hi everyone, this is Carla from Ascension Organites, and today I have a new piece for you. Her name is Lilac. So Lilac is made of howlite, ametrine crystals, aluminum metals, and the tetrahedron symbol in silver. So howlite is a stone of perspective and patience. Ametrine is a combination of properties from amethyst and citrine. So overall, a very powerful piece, great for patience, persistence, protection, abundance. Also helps with stress relief, anxiety, and overall increasing patience. I'll give it a quick turnaround so you can see it. And there's Lilac. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Carla. And of course, guys, if you're looking at getting one of these in your own hands here, you can do so at ascensionorganites.com. The links are in the description box below. And there also, if you use BeyondMystic I'll get an extra 10% off those amazing creations. And now to go with that lilac pyramid, and of course this full moon in Aries special show, Julie, what do we have for the audience in terms of candles by Elena?
So tonight we'll be giving away a full moon candle to go along with the full moon that we're going to talk about even more. So these are candles that help activate the root chakra for your security, also activate your grounding, your relationship with the earth. The crystals that Elena put in the candles are recharged at full moons to bring even more energies in those candles, and they're handmade. And this one is a sandalwood scent for the full moon candle, and it's garnet that is sprinkled on the candle.
I absolutely love mine. And don't forget, guys, these are the cool wooden wicks. So it sounds very much like an open fire pit kind of thing sound. It's very, very relaxing. I absolutely love it. And guys, MaisonJupiter.com, and also 10% off there if you want to restock on your amazing candles by Elena. Everybody's giving a lot of great comments there. Also, I love my full moon candle, says Chris Franks. Thank you so much. And a lot of people are, wow, yes, that pyramid is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Picture again.
Love the color.
Yeah. I love that blue. Where did it go? It kind of went off my screen. Oh, there you go. Wow. Yes, absolutely. Highlight also amazing. Okay. Let's get back to, I guess, the collective influence that this Aries full moon is going to have on the 16th. Now, before I get into that too, I want to share with the audience members this video here. From the Health Ranger. So I'll bring the link down. This is on their Brighteon channel. And they're talking about these specific alignments and the one that we're in now and how it very much resembles that of the one in 1929. I really recommend you go look at that. And it kind of ties in also with some of the things that Cliff was talking about today in his video on BitChute. Quickly, Julie, do you want to run the audience by the gist of that particular video and why it's important for us here too in the context of the conversations we're having here, and also for the Astro Woo and the Crypto Woo show here on BeyondMystic? Go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of financial analysts have analyzed what kind of astrological transits were present during the Great Depressions that we've been through in the past years. So they analyzed when did the market crash exactly, what was the alignment, but also when was the panic before those market crash. And they uncovered that it was always, the crash was always conjoining a solar eclipse. And usually before a solar eclipse, usually before 6 weeks within the solar eclipse, there would be a full moon, and that would trigger the panic, the stock market panic. So people will start to freak out knowing that something big was about to happen. So, well, personally, I don't know if it's true. So I'm just going along with those guys. They seem to know what they're talking about. So I just looked at our solar eclipse that we're about to have on October 25th. And there's 2 full moons in this 6-week radius that those guys were talking about. So we have this full moon that's going to be on October 9, which is an Aries full moon. And then the other full moon would be after the first eclipse. So that would be the full moon eclipse of November 8th. So I'm thinking that this full moon, that we're going to have on October 9 might be the one that's going to trigger the stock market panic, because there's a lot of emotional energy in a full moon. So, and we know that stock market is all about trust. It's all about what people think the value of things are. So it's not usually just about numbers and analytics. It's about how people feel about something. So full moon trigger that before a solar eclipse usually.
That, and also herd mentality. That is also sometimes the worst nightmare of this market. When the herd gets spooked, all of a sudden, there's no rationality whatsoever to the trading patterns. And perhaps these astrological bodies are setting up for that weird spooking of the herd, so to speak. Okay. Makes sense, Julie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
okay.
explained it well.
Before we get into the collective energy of the eclipse, let's pull some cards, Sophie, on that particular concept and timeline that is brought forward here in this video. Is it possible that this full moon, and what they were saying is that the energy of it too could start as early as tomorrow, October 5th, which was interesting because when I was talking about this on the Monday show, Janine was talking about October 9th being the full moon, but in my mind I kept having October 5th. October 5th could be the opening date, and that's what they're saying. The window opens effectively on October 5th. Let's pull some cards to see if some of that potentiality, at least here for that spooking of the herd in the markets, could indeed start here on or about the 5th or the 9th of this month. Let's see what the cards
Yes, absolutely. But this solar eclipse, for me, this represents maybe a big player in the banking system going out, because it could be eclipsing of male energy, which would be a big player in the money system, just getting out of there. Just something to think about.
Yeah, very good and well said. And while you're pulling cards, also there's this announcement here, potentially here, with respect to this Mars conjuncting the silver asteroid. And on that note, to join us to talk about exactly that and a really cool remote viewing, this next show here with Dick Allgaier, entitled Silver October RV and the Astro Woo with Julie. We're going to bring all of this together. Now, I just got an email from Dick before the show. This timing is no longer correct on Thursday. He had originally said yes to the 4 p.m. show on Thursday, but there's something else. So we're going to move this. It might be tomorrow night, Wednesday night, or it might be Thursday night. I'm not sure yet. So just stay tuned here to Beyond Mystic, and I'm going to repost that for you. But his remote viewing on silver and gold and crypto for October, you guys are going to fall off your chairs when you see all the slides that it gave Julie and I for the research for this show. It's going to be one of those blockbuster shows for sure. Stay tuned for that one. Okay, so Sophie, back to the cards. The potential for this window opening here, October 5th to maybe the 9th here.
It's real. The potential is real. With the 6 of Pentacles, we're talking about exchange of money, exchange of resources. We do have guidance. So with that card, it could be something big, just going slowly in the right direction. I'm saying slowly, but you know what? The next card says directly stop. When I have stop and I have sadness, I think there could be a crash really coming soon with that. And we also have, you will not be surprised, the card of 9 of Swords coming back to this. So
do you think it could be, do you think it could be like people not able to getting their money out of the bank because you had the 6 of Pentacles and then this worrying and the stop? So what do you think?
I think it's a start. I think there's energy that is going to be starting really in the treaty for us. So this is something that is going to happen. For me, with those cards, it's going to happen, but the only thing that I see that is changing my view on the timeline is that I have the card of summer that goes with this 9 of Swords. I'm not really sure if this would be the end of the anxiety, which for me would make more sense than the beginning, because we're far away from there. And we know that there's tons of things that is going to happen really quickly. So I think that we have a timeline right now on this 5th of October. We do have this energy that is really starting, and this is big. This is divinely guidance. And then we have this stop with the sadness. So more stress, more pressure. And this would be, for me, that the summer would be the end of this energy of stress.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it, but bring back up that summer card closer to the camera for the audience. To me, this, in the context of the stock market, could be literally meaning losing your shirt.
Oh, wow.
Right? So not necessarily the summer here, but losing your shirt. So again, going back to the Wheel of Fortune card that Janine was picking up here, both in the September and October Astro Woo shows, les premiers seront les derniers seront premiers. So basically, a lot of the rich elite people suddenly become the have-nots, and the have-nots become the haves, right? So that could be that big reversal there, and it spells disaster for a lot of those. And this is why I think Cliff was pointing at this word dread here. Not necessarily for us, but for the bad guys who used to have control of the system. They're dreading their loss of that control, and perhaps the loss of their shirts and maybe pants also. Yes, losing your pants, very likely. Okay, so I had to make that funny a little bit. Does that make sense? Julie, also, do you want to chime in?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. And well, the good point about all this, about losing your shirt, is the value of silver that started to go up. So I think a lot of people in this community are going to be very happy about being prepared for what's to come. Mm-hmm. So yeah, do you want me to go on with the collective energy for the full moon?
Yes, let's do that. JC, losing your shirt? No, I'm not losing my shirt. Okay. There'll be no jiggling this time around either. Okay. Where's my collective chart? This one here. Okay, Julie, let's go through this one as well. And yes, a big thank you to all of you in the PayPal tip jar already. A big thank you. I have quite a few questions already lined up, and we're already at the 49-minute mark. So, Julie, if you want to get through this a little bit, and then we'll get to the personal questions for people. Okay.
Okay, so this full moon could trigger the stock market panic, as we just said before, that anticipates the crash. So within 6 weeks of the solar eclipse. So we've talked about it earlier, but the T-square involving Mars, which is the apex of the T-square with Neptune and Mercury. So there's probably going to be an information WAR between mainstream media and independent media, because it's a lot about Mercury that just went direct, and also Gemini is very much highlighted. So a lot of information that's being blocked. I feel a lot of false information that are being shared. I feel like mainstream media is still trying to control the narrative, trying to put a break with the panic as much as they can with the T-square. So, but there could be also some truth being revealed, because the full moon always sheds a light on some truth, and probably being the cause for anxiety. Mars and Gemini, restlessness, worrying, overthinking, the Knight of Swords that we just had earlier. And as I said, Pluto turns direct on the day before. So there's a lot more transformation and destruction, because it's the planet of death and rebirth of the old system, because Pluto's in Capricorn at the very late degrees of Capricorn. So the destruction of the old system can move forward again. So, and Mercury is being direct. And so we're having a lot of more momentum with things moving forward.
Okay, very good. And guys, if you want to check this out, if you haven't seen already, let me just go see if I can find that poster very quickly. On the Monday night show here with Janine, we talked about Crédit Suisse and how it was interconnected. Right. They're having a lot of issues, if you've seen in the mainstream news now, how that was actually very intertwined with North America. And she picked up the worst 3 cards in the deck there. There was the tarot card, the Tower card, the Devil, and what was the last one, Julie?
I think it was the 10 of Swords.
Right. There was a completion there. So there's connection, and there's a few people in the chat saying, yeah, maybe Vanguard, maybe BlackRock connected to this. There's a lot of weird things happening this week. So it seems that we're on, as Bill Holter said, that timeline where they've pulled the plug already, and we're going down that path. Now, whether or not we go towards the path of decentralization of powers through the chaos, which is their old modus operandi, or if humans have a window to perhaps let go of that track and create our own here as we move into the age of Aquarius. That's what we're all fighting for. So anyways, really good show on the...
That was a great show. I recommend it highly.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you. Guys, go check it out. Somebody else was saying... shoot, I'll see if I can scan it. I don't want to make you guys wait. So Julie, let's start with this. First, Marie is asking, she's Libra rising and Virgo sun. So while you spin the astrological wheel on that, she just wants a general card, please. So let's start with Sophie, general information of what universe wants Marie to know. And then Julie, you can add with Libra rising and Virgo sun as well. So Sophie, Mary, general reading. Thank you, Mary, for the PayPal tip jar. Absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Okay, so I have pressure around you. So we have crossroads. It says right timing. It's now never. When I have this energy with the rest of the cards, for me, it indicates that around you, there is people that pressure you to take a decision on a path that you're supposed to be on right now. They seems to really want to push you on some path that you're not sure about. So you need to really take your time. There's no rush at this time. You have about a month to take this decision. I see in the card it says it's now or never. It's the crossroads. But for me, it's more, we had a loyalty here and we had a chariot. Before you move, really try to settle this energy inside of you and find this way, and do not give up to that pressure that you feel around you. They are seeing things that you may not feel the same about. So let that go.
Wow. Okay. I kind of had a download as you were saying that, but I don't want to share that publicly. Okay. But I hope, who was asking? Marie, I hope that helps you. I think that's bang on. For some reason, I think that's bang on. Julie, do you want to add the astrology to that too? Do you want to share your screen, Julie?
Yeah, I just wanted to add. Oh, yeah, I could share my screen. Let's do that. Okay, so this is the chart for the full moon, and I put Libra as the rising sign. So as you can see, the moon and the sun are going to oppose each other because it's the full moon. So 16 degrees, it's going to fall, Mary, in your 7th house. So if you're a Libra rising, it's going to fall in your 7th house, the full moon. So full moon is conjunct by Chiron, which is a circle with a little K over it. So that's Chiron. So there is going to be a lot of healing potential for you in the relationship sector. So there's probably something that might come up around this full moon that you'll need to heal, acknowledge first of all, and then heal, and then release, because the full moon talks about releasing something. And when we have Chiron there, it's probably something that's been a core wound related to relationships. And also because you're a Libra rising, so relationships are very important for you. For all people that have strong Libra, you're very good at collaborations, partnerships. So it takes a lot of priority in your life. But you have Jupiter that's also there in your 7th house. So that's the bringer of good fortune for a good reversal of situation.
Okay,
so, yeah.
very, very good. Let's take the next one here. Delberta is asking, Sophie, can you give her universal guidance on timing to quit her remote 32-hour-a-week job so that she can focus, Delberta, on healing others? Let's give her some general information on how she can best achieve that life mission. And Julie, I'll put the next questioner in the chat here so you can align the astrological wheel also while Sophie does Delberta. So there you go. Okay, Sophie, Delberta, general guidance here to start healing others and transition to that work.
It's not supposed to be right now. We have slow down and slow down. Those two together, it's asking you to be really patient. I know you're really restless to start this. This is the energy that we all share right now. It's coming. It's really coming. I have Speak Up and the 10 of Cups next to it. But the first card about the timing, it's really telling you to take your time on this. There's something that you don't see clearly also with this really big energy in Neptune in Pisces, I think, Julie? Neptune in Pisces. Yeah. This is something that is just not see clearly right now. So this is why if you make a step too fast, you're going to not be prepared as you really want to be when you go out. So 3 to 6 months would be the timeline for me.
Okay, that's very specific. Wow, really cool. Okay, Julie, the next question is from Sherry. Wonder where my business will take me now. Gemini Sun and Virgo Rising. Julie, what do the astrology say?
I can't put my chart on the screen. I don't know why. Can you?
Let me see.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
It's a weird show, guys. I have no idea what the hell's going on. Okay.
Okay. So, Sherry, for your business. So first of all, I'm going to look at long-term influences, not just the full moon, because it's going to pass by very quickly. So eclipses will be important. So the first one will be in your 3rd house, which is all about learning. And ninth house, then on November 8th, will be about expanding your view, expanding your knowledge, possibly teaching, becoming a guide, sharing what you know. So these are going to be very important themes for you and your business, because we're going to have eclipses along this axis for a year and a half. So third house and ninth house. So expanding, learning, teaching. And because also you've got Mars, which is going to be in your 10th house, which is, and you have also your sun in the 10th house in Gemini. So Mars is going to be there for 7 months in your 10th house. So that's very important that you push with anything that's going to be your public image, your public work, your life mission, which Gemini is also about communicating what you know. Using your social medias is Gemini also. So it's going to be very important phase that you put yourself out there with your knowledge and you share it as much as you can during the next period of time.
Wow. Okay. Really cool. A couple of things that are happening right now. Finished the book publishings. Yeah. Ukraine central bank chief just resigned.
Oh, wow.
That's potentially big news here in the power struggle and how and where this money is being sent to. And we can't really get into that on this particular platform. But speaking of that, Julie, look at this. Now that Twitter belongs to Elon, I don't know if you guys saw the news here today, but apparently they're moving forward with this sale now. A lot of people are freaking out now about well, at least at Twitter, in terms of their ability to control the narrative here. And perhaps this is one of the big players here in this new fight for free speech, and what that means for the old censorship guard as they were. And I'm going to say here as they were, because they appear to be dying on the vine, including CNN here, just slapped with a $500 million defamation lawsuit. So let me ask maybe Sophie first. Sophie, do you think that this change at the leadership of Twitter is in fact that an indication here now that we are going to maybe be given again tools for free speech, which is something that has been lacking in this community for quite some time? What do the cards have to say?
I think it's a yes, just because I have the blockage in the past, I have the awakening in the present, and I have the change in the future. So for me, it would be a yes. And it's a good one.
Wow. Okay. Julie, anything you want to add to that as well?
Well, I think it has to do, we were talking about this T-square involving Mars and Gemini earlier. So I think it's about this battle between mainstream media and also independent media and social media. So independent content versus mainstream media. So I think this is very targeted at the moment. And but Mars is going to push forward in the sign of Gemini and try to bring truth in alternative ways to help with this battle with this Pisces and Neptune, which represents mainstream media, but also illusions, propaganda, lies, anything that's been served to us in the past year. So there's going to be a big fight on that level as well.
Wow. Okay. Really cool. Question for Sophie, president of Sophie's and Myers Club here, right here. Okay. Alex, thank you for that. That's really good. That's nice. I love it. And Mad Max says, always a joy to see my future wife in another life. Delightful, Miss Julie. You guys are getting a lot of love in the chat. That's awesome. Okay.
I needed that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This week is awful. Thank you.
Smash the like buttons everywhere, everyone. And Dear in Nature, I just registered for Janine's Tarot Part 2. Can't wait for the start. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. There was another question in here too. I can't. Oh, okay. Susan, Julie, let me bring you on the screen. Will you ever consider doing private readings?
I have done a lot in the past. And I feel like in this lifetime, I'm more guided towards teaching and sharing information with many people at the time, with groups. So it's not in my plans for the moment, let's just say.
Okay.
That's not the guidance I have. Sorry?
Is it for the astrology or the tarot?
I don't know. I'm talking generally speaking.
Yeah, and Susan just asked, generally speaking, I'm assuming she meant astrology, but
Probably.
who knows? She might have meant both. But okay, Julie has given her answer. We'll take her at her word. Stardust says, I love the Nostradamus show. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen that episode, I'm not tooting my own horn. These guys together, Jay Widener and Julie, bringing all of the esoteric knowledge together was absolutely fantastic. What are we at now? 60,000 views, 44,000 views here, plus what was on Julie's channel and also on Jay Widener's channel. Really, really cool show. And again, it brings into context why things are happening now and why the elites are doing the things that they're doing now also. So it's a little bit easier for us to understand, okay, we're not crazy. They are up to something, and there's very real reasons, at least in their mind, as to why they're doing all of this stuff. So a really cool show. Okay, and somebody else was asking something. I love the full moon candle. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. There's another question for you, Julie. I can't find it now. Somebody was asking you if you were going to give tarot classes. No, sorry, astrology classes. Because right now on the Beyond Mystic Academy, we have with you here the French level 1 tarot, of course, here with Julie. But are you also thinking of doing some modules specifically for the astrology framework? What would you say to that?
I would say yes, that's the plan. Okay. But I'm a Virgo sun, so I'm very perfectionist. So I really want to make sure that it's going to be really well made and well structured. So I really want to take my time there. But yes, absolutely, that's the plan.
Okay. Very cool. And guys, again, let me bring that back up here too. I had the coupon code for you guys somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. There you go. So yes, if you're interested and you've already taken level 1, please go ahead and use here the coupon code BeyondMystic at 10% off here for the level 2. Now, Julie, in terms of timeline, I know this was a little bit delayed. We had Deneen had personal stuff. We all had personal stuff. Everybody has, like you guys know, we're all living through this at the same time as you guys. And best are our plans. Universe sometimes changes our plans, right? So we were a little bit delayed putting out level 2, and I kid you not, have emails today asking me, JC, when's level 3 coming out? So level 3 is more extensive, and it also has live workshops with Janine. So can you share a little bit with the audience members how we're going to first share that content in level 3, and when perhaps they can expect to see that coming up on the board, Julie?
Well, there are still details needed to be fixed, but as long as we spoke about it, I think it's going to be a mix between readings, extensive readings, so the zodiac with the zodiac reading with the 12 houses, also Kachina knife, the Janine loves, and also live meetings with Janine, maybe Sophie, we'll talk about that. So because it's going to be more of a practice based course, because we found that people learning tarot after theory, usually if you don't practice and you don't have enough self-confidence in your gifts, sometimes it's easy to just stop doing tarot because you're like, I'm not sure, am I doing it right? I don't know. So we're trying to provide this kind of support and community to help each other and also feel more secure with our intuition using tarot.
Okay, very good. And you'll be happy to note also that Sophie, Julie, and I had a meeting today about Sophie's upcoming course. Of course, not this one here on tarot, but one on past lives. So we're getting closer and closer to bringing that to you guys as well. So stay tuned for that. And someone is asking, Jim Montgomery is saying, wait, wow, Julie and Sophie are incredible. JC, a video in the works similar to your cool rap video. What is he talking about? Oh, okay. The DMX thing?
I think.
Maybe. Yeah. I just, you know what? I used to have time in those days. I don't have any time anymore. Like I'm working 16 hours a day. I can't possibly do fun YouTube videos anymore. But I'd love to get back to that if I could get all of this stuff settled and back up online for you guys. Really, really cool. Okay, we're at the 1 hour, 5 minute mark here. Let me start with Sophie first and put you on the spot here. Do you want to give the audience members here maybe words of advice dealing with all of the anxiety here, the energies perhaps from here until our next Tuesday show, either from a personal perspective, or you can also add to that your tarot cards and leave the audience with silver lining here on how to deal with the next 7 days or so until we meet again. Go ahead.
So I'm in the same boat as you guys, so I will take cards.
Okay.
Let's check. Okay, I love it because, it says try new things. So when I have try new things, and with this Mercury card that is try new things, but also discover new things, read new things, get new information. I like this energy because it doesn't ask you just to stay put. It asks you to, you feel uncomfortable there. Use that time to focus on something new. Use that time to push it and use your mind to put it somewhere else. So use your mind to read, use your mind to learn something, maybe an instrument. And this is really something that is going to change how this loop is going in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I like that.
Very good. And Julie, the same question?
Okay, so I picked an oracle card and I have the universe speaks in synchronicity. So there's like a portal on that card. So I feel like it's helping us go through this portal, which I think is going to be that it's going to feel fated. So sometimes you feel like you're a bit out of control when it's the case. But I feel like our guides are really wanting to touch base with us at this time to really help us to go through those changes in the best way possible. So it says the signs are everywhere. Tune in. What is the universe trying to tell you? So we're all being very much guided by our team right now. So synchronicities is a way that they use to give us some cues that they're there, give us some signs for what's to come. So it could be repeated numbers, it could be colors, it could be animals that you're meeting, it could be all sorts of things. So yeah.
Okay, very good. And I have to bring this up to you. Somebody's saying, did you guys talk about silver? Well, we kind of did in both the Astro Woo, the Tuesday show, the Monday show, and the Crypto Woo show. But I wanted to bring this up again for you guys if you have just logged in now. Sometime, either tomorrow or Thursday here, I'm still working on finalizing the date and the hour. But remote viewer Dick Allgaier, extraordinaire, will be back on the show with his remote viewing here for the month of October. That includes a lot on gold and silver, and Julie will be adding some of the astrological content to that as well. So I will share one of the slides that Mr. Allgaier shared with us here for the preparation of this show. Ooh. And yeah, there's a lot of gold and silver in the reading. So it's going to be one hell of a really cool episode here. And if you note the last part of the phrase here, a change is coming. So again, that also reflects the astrology. And somebody said the other day that this remote viewing made Bix Weir really, really, really happy in terms of silver. So that's the snippet. That's all I'll give you guys. And somebody was asking if they can get the Canadian or here in Canada, if they could get the Beyond Mystic silver bars. Yes, of course you can. Just fill out the special order form here at beyondmystic.net. There is a shipping fee that is a little bit more difficult here in Canada because of the rules, regulations, and insurances from the States. But yes, it's available to get them here, of course. And the specials for this week, let me actually refresh that because, yes, Andy was out of the Britannias. We just said that yesterday. There's a supply issue right now with silver, especially in Europe. A lot of the dealers are out of silver also. So we're starting to see what Janine had mentioned on last Wednesday showed that we were running out of time here to source a physical silver at these prices. So these are the specials for this week. The silver buffaloes here at $4 over spot from Andy. You can fill out the form here. Let them know what you want. And of course, also the Beyond Mystic bars are available there. They're produced in-house, of course, and we don't have to deal with other mints for the time being on that. So that's beyondmystic.net/silver. And yes, please join us for this Silver October remote view and Astro Woo show here coming up very soon. Guys, this was the Aries Full Moon Divine Feminine Oracles show with the lovely Sophie and Julie. You can find them at MaisonJupiter.com. And please also go and subscribe and give them some love here on the Maison Jupiter YouTube. And while you're there also perusing the web, please move over to Rumble here. The link is in the live chat below. And there you will see this Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern, the brand new edition of the Jean-Claude and Janine Rumble Show, the inaugural show here on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic. I love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Have a great night, and au revoir.
Au revoir. Bye, everybody.